Welcome to another episode of the Immediately Know podcast. My name is Mariela Morales. I'm your host, and today I have a very, very special guest joining us, which is my very good friend, Aiona Santana. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. I feel honored.
Heck yeah, girl. I am honored that you're here, honestly. Truly. A little bit intimidating because, girl, you out here being a boss's bitch. And honestly, I admire you so much. And this episode actually is going to talk about how to be literally the realest boss out here.
It's so true. Honestly, guys, just so you know, when Mariela asked me if I could be on her podcast, she's like, oh, like I wanted to ask. I was wondering, I was like, why didn't you ask me before? Of course you can ask. And we were like talking about that. She's like, no, like I have to respect, like we're friends too. And I was like, no, like I've been wanting to be on this podcast. So I'm happy it's happening.
Like, girl, honestly, there's like friends, but like when your friends reach that like peak in fame, you're like, holy shit, like is she still friends with me? Like this bitch has met so many famous people. I'm like, oh my God. My small town podcast. And she's like, yeah, of course. I'm like,
small, not small.
But heck yeah. So we have a few questions to like introduce this whole theme, this topic of like boss, real bitch, So the first question, Aiona, thank you so very much again. I'm gonna say thank you like a gazillion times for joining us. And so you have come so far in your career, but when did you know that you had this dream to be like this amazing artist that you became today?
Honestly, I was born with it. I feel like ever since I was a little kid, I dreamt big. And you know how people say kids dream big? I feel like I dreamt even bigger. Like when I was little, I knew I wanted to make it really far. I knew I wanted to be an artist. I always loved music. I loved acting. I loved dancing. And I was always like, there's no doubt that this is what I want to be. And it started making me doubt, like, is school even for me, university, like work, like I don't know, I want to do just this. So I feel like I was kind of born with that dream.
Heck yeah, girl. You honestly, I can see that. I can see that perhaps like because I feel like we all go to school because we feel like we have to, but when you have that dream, you like not a lot of people really fight for it, but girl, you've been fighting, you have been reaching your goals. You said, fuck this like common life, like I want an extraordinary life, and that's what you're living right now.
Yeah.
So
And I feel like it's just as simple as like some people want to become a dentist and other people want to become, I don't know, a vet or like a lawyer, and they go for it and that's their dream and they do everything that they need to do to that. For me, it's the same. I want to be a singer. I am a singer. Like it's the same thing. It's just following what your passion is and making work and like what you do in your daily life not feel like annoying or like a job. It shouldn't. It should fulfill you. Like it shouldn't feel like something that you dread doing.
exactly. Preach. Did you all hear that? People in the background, did everybody hear that?
Yeah.
And your amazing dream has come with some little bit of traveling. And I know that you've traveled from like a few places, and you used to live in a few countries, right? Like talk to me about the countries that you lived in.
Yeah, I'm from Venezuela and I lived in Belgium too for a couple of years. And then other than that, just like traveled a lot around the world with my family. It's very interesting. I feel like it's really nice to live in different parts of the world and also have a different ethnic background. Now living in Canada, like you learn so much about different cultures and like your mind opens up to so much more and you really learn how to have a lot of like personal skills of talking to different people. Because like from where I lived, like just thinking about Venezuela compared to Belgium, compared to like Canada, there's such parallels. They're so different. Like Canada's the only one that's kind of like the middle ground. But even then, like I lived in Ottawa, now I live in Toronto, and it's so different. So it just gives you like these skills to just adapt anywhere, to create a life anywhere, and to get out there. And like even now, recently moving to Toronto for my music, it's been challenging because I was like so used to living in Ottawa for a little while and then I branched out and now I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this. Like, how did I do this when I was younger? This is hard. It's tough. And that's just like moving cities. But I'm so fortunate I've had those experiences and I feel like people, like some people I know have never been to Europe or have never, you know, traveled outside of the country even. And like it's nice to be able to have had those experiences, have met different people and different backgrounds. And I feel like that's what also diversifies a lot of my like thoughts and my beliefs and doesn't make me like just stick to one way of thinking or one box, you know?
Heck yes. Yes, girl. I love that. I love that so much. And honestly, I feel like for the people that have followed Aiona like for a while, you see her go on all these like different adventures. Um, I feel like one of my favorite ones was when you were doing all of the like pageantry and going to Miss Teen World. You were like traveling, you were winning crowns left and right. Like this girl was out here really snatching wigs. Like she was looking amazing. Like you've been doing the damn thing. And honestly, like talk to me about like that experience about pageantry. Like
Yeah.
how was that all that?
I love how, of course, that's one of Mariela's favorites, pageants, because she's from Venezuela. Just it just makes sense. It's the same thing for me, you know. I had to
Yes.
bite the bullet. Like I had to be a pageant girl. Just it's in my blood. You understand. No, it was
Yes.
amazing. Like there are even moments where I think about it, putting on the ground. I literally think about it and I like sometimes I dream about it again. Like basically, for those of you who maybe don't know, I competed in Miss Universe Canada when I was in university, and I got the chance to compete in Egypt and represent Canada, not at Miss Universe, but at Miss Eco International. And I represented Canada. I did honestly, I was really proud of what I did there. It was such an incredible experience. And I was only 18, I think, or yeah, I think I was only 18. Um, and then from there, I competed at Miss World too. I competed at Miss Grand Canada. I competed at, sorry, Miss World, not Miss World International, and Miss World Canada. There's so many. And then I competed in Belgium too for Miss Grand Belgium. It's, yeah, I have gone all around, and like, I think pageants just taught me so much, and they really helped me a lot in my music too, just learning how to speak, how to dress, how to combine like different outfits, how to um address certain like situations, how to manage yourself in front of the media, in front of the TV, doing photo shoots. Like that was the first time I started modeling seriously and like doing a lot of photo shoots. And that gave me so much experience because nowadays with my music, I do the same thing where now I do more like whatever I want. But before, like it's like you have to model this way, or you have to do this or that. Yeah, and you just learn so much. And that's when I started traveling to Toronto also a bunch, because all the pageants were in Toronto. So I got to meet a lot of people, and then those people started listening to my music. And same when I went to Egypt, like even nowadays I still have fans who listen to my music that are in Egypt and don't understand what my music says because it's in Spanish, but they love it. And it's like it's crazy to think like all these experiences brought me to where I am today. And I don't know necessarily what the reason for them is, but I feel like there are a lot, and I feel like they start revealing themselves as I move forward in my career. But I would say pageantry, like for me, was a very positive experience. And I know there's a lot of kind of sometimes, I don't know, certain beliefs and stereotypes about pageants, but my experience was super positive. And it's really, for me, it was all about the people I met and the like self growth that I had.
Yes. Honestly, girl, like you look like you were in your element. Obviously, we all knew the queen was meant for music, but you just look like so happy. Like you were literally doing what you like doing, which is being on a stage, like being like this like persona in the media, like which is like what you do best. Like you're literally the star that like shines through every single like room that she goes in, and we see that. That's like what other people saw too. So like it was so natural for you to be doing all of these things, like um all the marketing, the pictures, like interviews. Like girl, we could I could definitely see you doing this for the rest of your life. Like I don't see you as an office job type of person. I see you as this like freaking star, like Latin Grammys, like doing the freaking show of Bad Bunny and Aiona, like you know what I mean? Like doing all these
Yeah,
things.
I agree with you. Honestly, that's how I saw myself too. And it was a way like I was doing it throughout university. So I'm in school in class, and all I'm thinking about is like, what dress am I gonna wear? What am I gonna do? And whatever. Like, and just thinking about my shows, my like pageants. And it just kept me alive, and it motivated me through university to like have something that was going for me. And also like it was fun because I loved like speaking on stage. I feel like that was my favorite part, was answering the questions, which is usually what girls hate to do. For me, it was my favorite part because
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know if we're allowed to swear on this podcast, but I didn't give a fuck. I literally would just like answer the question and give my honest opinion and like just share what I thought. Whereas other people would be like, and they would answer a question and like not even answer the question at all, or completely avoid the answer. And yeah, I would just go for it. And sometimes that people like, she is a lot, like that's a little much. Like she's like a personality. And I was like, yeah, well, what's the point? You want us to stay quiet? So that I liked because I feel like I had my own approach to pageantry too.
Exactly. And girl, this is the Immediately No podcast. Of course we can fucking swear. Like,
Okay, good.
you're so funny.
I was trying to hold it in. I'm
immediately
like,
yes, swear.
Immediately yes, swear.
No. Heck yes. I keep saying heck yes because in my other podcast I like over swear too much to the point that I had to like cut some of my swear. I was like, holy crap, this bitch really be saying all of those words.
Sometimes there's no other way to just like share what you're saying. I did this interview and they asked me like, oh, like your song, like Fronteo, whatever. This was when I went to Miami. Like, it's so good. Like, whatever, how was the experience? Whatever. I was like, no, like the crew was de pinga, like me talking. And this is on live TV. Guys, for those who don't know Spanish, like that's, yeah, I swear on live TV. And they're like, and I was like, you know what? I don't regret it because there's no better way to explain it.
Exactly. Like, how do you, like, you can't really translate like this is fucking lit. Like, how do you say that in normal words? It's fucking lit. What would you say? Like, oh, it's really fun. Like, this is really great. It's not the same. Not the same enthusiasm. Like, it doesn't get your word across. It's like saying period, not really a swear word, but how do you describe period? You know what I mean?
You can't. Mm-hmm.
And honestly, girl, yes, you were doing pageantry from like such a young age, like since you were in school. And I know you were going to school for music. Before that, like, is there another career that maybe you were thinking, maybe as a backup plan? If obviously you don't need a backup plan because your personality, as the other bitches were hating, you have a personality, girl. Like you out here, like we are not the 9 to 5 type of people. But back then, obviously, as a younger person, was there anything else that you wanted to do or try just in case?
It's funny because I feel like everything that I wanted to do or try was like involved or somehow connects to what I'm doing now. So like when I was a kid, I loved doing hair. I loved it so much. I would cut all of my dolls' hair to the point where they didn't have any hair anymore because I always wanted to give them haircuts. And I would do my own hair. And like once I cut my own bangs and it was horrible and I had little hairs here when I was a little kid, my mom was like, anyways, so I wanted to be a hairdresser. And I remember telling my grandma, like, oh, I want to be a hairdresser, whatever. And my grandma was like, if you're gonna be a hairdresser, you're gonna own all the biggest hair salons like in the country and whatever, and like make a big business out of it, whatever. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then when I went into pageantry, like I started doing all my hair always for everything. Like I always did my own hair. So, and now I do it for my shows. So it's like, it's funny, it helped me. But before that, I guess the other career path was acting because I went to school for theater too and for film. And that was like such a good school and I loved it. So it also just goes into what I'm doing. But music was always there. And music, I think, is the one thing that has just helped me like mentally so much. So seeing how much it's helped my mental health, I feel like I want to do that for others too. And I want to do that for me for the rest of my life. So it's kind of like, yeah, I had these other ideas, but like music has definitely always been the main one.
Yes. And going back to that note of like music helping you with your mental health, girl, when I went through my breakup, I was like blasting Fronteo nonstop. I was like, yes.
Let's fucking
Go hard on this.
That's why, yeah, that's literally why I made Fronteo. Like that's why. And like La Santa too, it's for that. It's fuck man.
100% correct.
Honestly, sometimes I'm like, fuck man.
I said what I said.
I literally had you like my top, I think it was like top 10 on my Apple Music throwback. You know that thing like Spotify? Yeah. I was like, bitch, Fronteo is here. Hell yeah. Blasting it 24/7.
you don't know how nice it is to hear that, because people will often be like, oh my God, I love your song, or like, oh, your song's so good, or your voice sounds so good. And I'm like, amazing. But it's so nice to hear like your song made me feel something, or your song helped me through this, or like I actually like listened to this when I was feeling down or whatever, because like that's what it's meant to do. So that's amazing.
Heck yes. Like, no, honestly, I was feeling like, honestly, well, when you go through a breakup, you have like a million feels. But I was just like, oh my God, like this song empowered me. Like that song, I feel like it's such an empowering song. Because it just makes you feel like a bad bitch. Like, yes, like Damon Dembo, you know what I mean? Like
That one that
doing all like bitch, like I'm back. Like you're right,
yeah.
Iona's right. Like this bitch is like no queremos nada romántico. Like fuck yeah. Like fuck yes. I don't know, man. Like it just really like makes you feel. I know right now the song that people are listening to is like Shakira's thing with BZRP, or like Miley Cyrus Flowers.
Flowers.
I'm like, no bitch, like Aiona Santana's fucking fronteo. Like this is what we all need to listen to right now. Honestly, you out here doing your damn thing, you know, inspiring us all. What advice would you give to like your younger self if you could like talk to her right now?
I would say don't take the little moments for granted, especially as I become a bigger artist. Like when I was younger and I was working towards this, I would, and I mean, I still have those moments, but I'd be so focused on like, I want to make it so big. Like something small would happen, but I'd be like, no, like I want more. Like I'm so ambitious. And like, why isn't this happening already? And like I've worked so hard. Like, why isn't this coming to me right now? Whatever. And just kind of like being patient. I feel like that's the one thing I've learned in my life, being patient and enjoying the present moment and enjoying like the journey of just living through this experience of on my way to whatever I'm supposed to become. I feel like, now it's so nice. And I had something like this happen to me when I was in Venezuela recently. I know we'll probably talk about this later, but I went to Venezuela and I gave a performance, and it was on the beach, and I stayed at the beach like a couple days after that too. So I gave the performance, whatever, it went amazing. And then the next day on the beach, like I couldn't just sit down and eat. Like I had people coming up to me, or I had people watching me, or I had people like La Santa, or like talking to me. And like I loved it. It was so great. And it's like a feeling that I'm like, holy shit, like this is happening now. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, it makes you think of those moments from before where you could just where you don't have to do that stuff. But I mean, I'm still not fully there yet. But it just really made me realize, like, enjoy all these little moments of people suddenly recognizing you, and like it being like a one-off and it happening like suddenly, and like really just the journey, because I feel like that's what it's all about. And not taking those moments for granted, and being patient and welcoming things as they come, because they will come.
Yes. Oh my God, bitch, I'm gonna start crying. Like honestly, same. Like I cannot agree more with you. Like if I could tell my younger self the same thing, I would. It's obviously that we want this dream so bad, and that's so good to really want it so bad that you sometimes get like desperate, like at times, because you're like, fuck, like I'm working so hard for this. Like, why is it not happening? Why is it not working? Like I'm putting all these things out there, all this content, all these like things that I think that are great, that are so good, and everybody around me are saying that it's so good. Like, why am I not big now? Like, why is it not reaching the people that I want to reach? But it's just because the time, like that time will come. Like, maybe and it happens overnight. Like, I remember when you came out with Fronteo, and I started like listening to it. I was like, holy fuck, this shit's lit. And then I started like sharing it with people. And then honestly, there was like one person that I shared with, and they're like, oh yeah, I already listened to it. I was like, bitch, you're
Well,
I'm always
honestly,
the one that like puts my go ahead.
it comes, I feel like it comes like that. And it's the same with you, what you were saying about your content. Like it's like going to the gym. If you're not consistent and you don't keep going and you're not patient, you're not going to get results. You're not going to develop that muscle. You're not going to like whatever. So it's the same thing with that. Like, I mean, Maria, you're doing such a good job, and I love your podcast, and you're being so consistent. So it's going to come. Like, I have no doubt. I believe that you're going to get there and wherever you want to be. And it's the same for everybody that's listening. Like, if you're truly dedicated, that is the one thing. Like, you got to get your ass like doing what you need to do. You have to be consistent. You have to work hard. You have to work for it, like we talked about in this podcast, and then it will come to you. Like nothing, like you say in Spanish, todo se premia. Like nothing just goes unnoticed or goes like without a prize. Like you will win it, you will get it. It just, yeah, sometimes it just takes time, because like who really wants to be, you know, a one-hit wonder or has like one success and that's it. Like no, if we want to make this a long-term thing, we want to make a lifetime out of this so we can be happy for the rest of our lives. That doesn't happen just like that.
Exactly. Like, you want a hot body, you want a martini, look hot in a bikini, you better work, bitch. Brittany said it best, you better work, bitch. And that's literally what we have to do. Like, we're not out here trying to go viral for like one thing. We're trying to stay viral. We're trying to stay in the business, in the media.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to be like Brittany Broski, you know, that girl, the kombucha girl. She is so fucking relevant right now.
I love
From that
yeah.
one video. I need to keep drinking kombucha until like somebody fucking signs me up. Hello,
For
like
real.
I've been drinking this bitch for years. Like, fuck, dude. Honestly, that's just what we gotta do. And yes, it's like a consistency thing. Like, if you don't keep working on it, if you don't keep putting things out there, nothing's gonna happen. You're just gonna be sitting on your ass crying.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. It's kind of like I am such a big Disney fan. I don't know if you watch The Princess and the Frog. The Princess and the Frog, you know, when Tiana is like wishing up on a star and then her dad says like that star can only take you so far, like you had to work the rest of the way to actually get your dream to come true.
So
that's
good.
what we gotta do.
I love that.
Like, chills. I love Disney. But okay, so back to your music. I know you've been making music for a while, obviously, because it's consistency. How would you compare your new songs to your older songs?
I feel like now I would say my songs are a little bit more like, I feel like they're more empowering, they're more powerful. My songs before were as well, but obviously I was starting out with composing and I was also working on my own, which is, it's great to start out, but now I collaborated with a lot more people and I feel like that's what's branched me out. And I'll always say this to everyone, like, look for help if you need the help, and also like work with people, especially if you're in the music industry, like feature with artists, like collaborate. And I feel like those experiences of featuring with different artists just taught me so much more about writing music too. So I feel like now my composition, like my pen is insane, and I feel like I can like write so much more music that's great. And my voice too, I feel like has developed so much more. My rhythms, I feel like I'm creating more fusions. I feel like I'm like experimenting a little bit more. So I don't know, I guess it's like the same vibe and my same theme and my same style, but like 2.0. Yeah. It's like the renewed version. I feel like it's the more mature version. It's like I hit my 20s and suddenly my music just like, I feel like took a different route, and it's just, I don't know, I guess my music evolves with me. As I evolve, I want my music to evolve. I don't want it to stay the same. So who knows like what it's going to be when I hit my 30s or my 40s, like who knows, but I wanted to keep growing. Exactly. Because you know, we keep growing as people, we don't stay the same, and we have other shit to say. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it's in the future.
Yes, and exactly, yes, like your music has to evolve with you. Like you cannot just stay like going, I guess, like a flat line. Like you are gonna keep going up. Like you're gonna keep maturing, you're gonna keep changing, and that's what we need, because who wants to listen to the same type of music all the time? Like you want something that makes you feel different ways. Like we're not all feeling happy all the time, or we're not all feeling like bad bitches all the time. Sometimes we want to cry, sometimes we want to laugh, sometimes we want to shake some ass at the club. You know what I mean? Like we need different music to make us feel all those things. Yeah.
And I feel like also with my music, like before I have songs in English too, and I sing in English, but my main genre is in Spanish. And I think, I don't know, it was a lot of years of me thinking like I have to sing in English, I have to like, and also doing it because I liked it, because you know there were moments where I would write a song and I'd be like, this just needs to be in English, and I would write another song and it was like, this needs to be in Spanish. But then I got to a point where I was like, let me just really let myself go with that gut feeling of like what language a song needs to be in. And I realized that my heart, this sounds so cheesy, but it's what I feel. My heart sings in Spanish. And I feel like I love to sing in Spanish. It's what my heart does. And it, like, I can't stop it. And I like how my voice sounds in Spanish. I like, it's easier for some reason. And I enjoy it so much more. And I feel like, I don't know, who knows what's going to happen with my music. I feel like I'll probably be like writing a song one day and then be like, you know what? I like the song in Spanish, but maybe this one verse needs to be in English, and then just add and change it. But I feel like I've really defined like and accepted myself for who I am and like who I am as an artist. And it's hard because I'm in an industry in Canada where like Latin music isn't necessarily popular here. It's not like a thing. It is becoming now, but I've been having to create my own market in a market where there is none for it yet. But it's like, okay, so are you willing to take on that challenge? And I asked myself that and I said yes. And so now I'm here.
Exactly. Girl. And like we said before, you have the personality. You are a personality. Like you don't need nobody to pave the way for you. You're paving your own way. You're making your own way. And which is like even more admirable, I guess. If yeah, you would say admirable. Like it's something that a lot of people will admire for you because you're paving the way for so many other Latino artists here too. So it's something that at the end of the road, you're gonna look back at it and you're gonna be like, holy fuck, I did that. Like that was fucking me. Like all these bitches are famous thanks to me. Like I got to where I wanted to be. I sold out arenas. I fucking platinum albums. Like look at what I did. And that was all because I wasn't afraid to take on a challenge. And I feel like that's something that, girl, more valuable than any fucking award or anything else is that you did what you fucking wanted to and you were not afraid to do it. So, chills.
I'm crying out.
All crying here. Like no, like I admire you so much, and because you started from such a young age, and like not gonna lie to you, like I've been wanting to do this podcast for so long, but I was so afraid that I was not gonna be able to like keep it up, or that I was gonna get discouraged, and or I wouldn't know what to do or write or say or who to interview. And honestly, it was just like seeing people like you, like seeing my friends thrive, what really motivated me to finally get my dream started. I said, holy fuck, look at Aiona, like she's out here fucking touring the fucking world now with her fucking music, doing all these interviews. She's on TikTok, she's on YouTube. I see her everywhere. I look, it's like Times Square, but like everywhere. I'm like, this girl everywhere. I'm like, holy fuck, like that's so inspiring. Let me fucking do something too. So I finally started my podcast and I was like, the fuck am I gonna call this podcast? And honestly, it was back in the time where I think it was like Justin, well, still obsessed with Justin Bieber, obviously. I think he said like immediately no.
Immediately no. Immediately no.
And carpool karaoke.
Oh,
and I was like, holy fuck. Yeah, right? And I honestly, ever since I watched that episode, I literally said that so freaking much that my mom was like, shut up. Like, why you keep saying that? First of all, my mom doesn't even speak English. So she's like, what are you even saying? So I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to start a podcast, it's going to be the Immediately No podcast, because immediately no.
I love that. Honestly, the name is perfect. And I feel like it fits so well with you and the whole branding and the theme. And like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy you're doing this. And I know it's tough. I know it's tough to start in there. Don't like honestly think that I'm doing everything I want to do. Like there are still so many things that I want to do that I'm still scared to do, or that I'm like, should I go out there and do this? But I know I will. And I feel like everybody who's listening needs to remember this. Like you just got to go for it. And like you're proof of that, Mariela. I am. And yeah, again, it'll come.
We are. Exactly. And honestly, like talking about all of this, that dream of I remember you mentioning yes, like I love being on stage, and I've seen you in like so many performances. I remember the first time I saw you perform was when we were in Tirumeru, which for those who don't know, it's like a Venezuelan folklore dancing group back in Ottawa. And this is when I first like met Aiona. It was like our first summer that we actually got close. And I was like, oh my God, Aiona sings. Aiona like does all this. And she got on stage and she sang the damn song. And I was like, holy fuck, blown away. Wig snatch, like my hair was on the floor. I was like, holy shit, like she's doing the damn thing. And to see her go from that stage, and then now this past New Year's Eve, on her birthday, by the way, guys, she was playing and singing in front of like thousands of people. I honestly saw that performance and I cried, like tears. I was like, holy fuck, I'm so proud of her. Like, look at her. like cheering the crowd. People were fucking singing. I was like, yes, like Team Aiona, I'm getting your name tattooed on my ass. Like I was like, holy shit. I was like, Aiona, you're doing the damn thing on your birthday too. Like I was so proud. And honestly, I wanted to ask you about that show. Like, how did it feel? Like, did you enjoy the rush of the big crowd? Would you be touring more? Like, do you think that's something that you want to do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was fucking crazy. Like, it was so random. I basically went to Venezuela to visit my family, and I said, this event is gonna be, or not this one, sorry, this trip is gonna be just for me. Like, I'm not gonna do anything like work, music related. Like, I'm gonna focus on seeing my family. Like, that's what I want to do, whatever. So that's what I was trying to focus on. And then this opportunity arose. They invited me to perform on New Year's Eve at this beach club where I used to go to ever since I was a little baby. So, which was even crazier because all of my family was there, my friends. And keep in mind, I hadn't been to Venezuela in 7 years. So my family, like my grandparents, my uncle, my aunts, like cousins, hadn't seen me perform ever since the past 7 years, which have been the craziest years of my career, which have been like, it's been the time that I've developed so much as an artist, and they hadn't seen me perform. They've been seeing everything on social media. So the fact that I was invited to perform was so crazy. For them to be there was so surreal, because it's been a while since I've had my whole family like there, and it's always been me at performances with like, yeah, my team, but like, you know, not the like closest people to you, which is tough sometimes. So anyways, I got this opportunity. It was on New Year's Eve, and my birthday is on New Year's Eve. I technically performed at like 2 a.m. So technically New Year's, so 1st of January, but it was insane to start the year like that. Like, started off singing on a stage. I feel like that just sets the precedent for the rest of the year. That's going to be insane, and that what I'm going to be doing is performing and singing on stage. And I feel like that was just like a show of that. And at the place that I've been going to since I was a kid, like with my whole family there, and a performance where it was just me. I didn't have my dancers, so it was just me, and there were so many people. Basically, before I even started, we were celebrating like New Year's, whatever, counting down. And I looked at my sister and I just said, Ori, I feel like I'm gonna puke. Like, I feel sick. I feel like I have fever. My head hurts. I am so nervous. Like, I was so nervous because there were so many people. Imagine like just a whole beach full of people everywhere. People like all around and far into like the back of the beach too. Like, oh my God. And I just saw it and I was like, I've never performed in Venezuela like that at that level before. And I'd never performed in front of that many people. And like, I was like, this performance just needs to go amazing. And I was literally like, I feel like I have a fever.
Yeah.
So my sister and I, we walked, and I was like, I need to just look at the ocean and I need to calm down. Like, I'm in my tierra, like I'm in my earth, I guess. Like my country, like, let me just, and I looked at my sister, I'm like, I need to just close my eyes and listen to sounds. So I closed my eyes and I blocked out the sound of like the toom, toom, toom from like the music that was playing from the concert. And I just like looked at the water and like calmed down and like took deep breaths and literally meditated for like 2 minutes. I was just like, like, you need to calm down. And I feel it as I'm telling the story. I still like feel that emotion. And I just like listened to the sound of the waves, and I listened to like the animals you could hear, and like the wind and the crickets. Like, that's what I listened to, and that's what like grounded me and was like, okay, you're ready, you're okay to go. And the only time that this feeling went fully away, or the moment it went fully away, was when I stood on stage. Like, I got on stage, and that's where I was like, holy shit, like, I don't feel any of it anymore. Like, let's fucking go. Like, I am ready. I love this. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. And that's how I know that I'm meant for that. Like, it was crazy. So
exactly.
Yeah, it was honestly an incredible experience. And like, seeing my family there, being able to do this for them, I like dedicated the performance to them and everything. And it was so incredible, so amazing. And yeah, the nerves were for nothing, because I ended up having so much fun, just like a blast on the stage, and people enjoyed it. And that was the most important part.
Yes. And like, you could tell that obviously there's always like that pre-show nerves and everything. I remember when we used to do like that dance crew, and I feel like we were all like shaking in the back in backstage. But it's like, once you are out and you're doing something that you know you want to do, like you practice so hard, like you got all ready, you kind of being looking forward to this moment for a really long time, and you're finally doing it. I feel I feel like all the nerves just like leave your body, and it's such an out of body experience. And I was honestly living through you. Like I was seeing you on that stage. I did not see no nerves. You were like engaging the people. You were telling everybody to cheers, yes, like clap your hands, like sing it back. I was like this is what she's meant to do. You like you can tell from people that, okay, I want to be a singer, but I'm not really sure if this is what I want to do. And that's when you see some people trying to perform and they like freeze, or they're just like singing with their microphones like all this, or they're just looking around and they look like they're gonna throw up. None of that with you, girl. You literally look like you've been doing this for so long, like since you were a baby in diapers, and you were singing to all the babies, like raving,
all the babies,
you know. You know, like heck yeah, from the
honestly,
crib,
yeah.
and you're like, yeah, boy.
Yeah, and like it's weird because lately before my performances, I haven't been getting nervous at all. Like unless I don't feel good or something, like I haven't been nervous. So for me to get to that point where I literally felt like I have a fever, I feel like I'm gonna faint, like this, I feel, or I need to start, like that hasn't happened in so long, which was crazy, but it just meant that I cared so much and that I knew how big it was and how important it was. And it all went away on stage, which is the craziest part.
Honestly, girl, I cannot wait to for the day when you perform at Madison Square Garden. I have to be there. I gotta be backstage. I gotta feel that with you.
You'll be
I want to take a peek
immediately.
of the crowd
No
and like,
podcast will be there. You'll be like recording. You'll be interviewing.
oh my god, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna be like, yes, girl, you're cheering for Harry Styles. No, we're cheering for Aiona and Santana right now. Like, heck yeah. Gotta get the team, gotta get the marketing team on this right now. We need to contact Madison Square Garden. But I cannot wait, girl. And I see you doing all of those performances. I see you filling out those arenas. I cannot wait to see you on tours and to see your name in Times Square, and just you're gonna do great things. And I'm so proud of you. And I really believe in you. I believe in your music, and I'm always gonna be here supporting you. #1 fan since the beginning. I've been saying hashtag Aiona Santana, hashtag #1 fan. I've been watching The Circle too much, as you can tell. But no, girl, like I see you doing all these great things, and I'm so proud of you. And honestly, talking about great things, we're gonna do this segment that I've been working on. I'm still trying to make it a thing. It's called the 5 Under 5, which is 5 popular topics trending online, mostly on TikTok, because I'm on TikTok way too much. And we're gonna try to discuss it under 5 minutes. Let's go. The first topic that we're going to talk about, it's Miley Cyrus holding her own hand in her new empowering single, Flowers. Have you heard it? Would you relate to it?
Yes, I've heard it. I think it was good. I don't know if I necessarily, I mean, I do relate to it. I feel like it's nice that she realized, you know, like she can get herself flowers, she can do all these things. I feel like that was super empowering, and I think it was a good song, and I like that she's using her music to talk about her things.
Heck yes. Next topic, Shakira and BZRP's diss track. Are you team Casio or are you team Rolex?
Oh my god. It's a tough one. I feel like I'm team Rolex just because of the years, pero bueno. But I also think what a queen. I'm so happy that, you know, a lot of people say like, oh, she has kids and whatever, she did that. But I honestly think that if you're an artist, what other way to express your feelings other than through your music? So good for her.
Exactly. Las mujeres no lloran, las mujeres facturan. I'm dead. Next topic, USA won the Miss Universe crown, but nobody seems to agree with this. Will you have agreed that either Dominican or Venezuela deserve that crown?
I'm so biased. Obviously, I think Venezuela would have been an incredible Miss Universe. And I look at her on Instagram and I just see this woman and I'm like, she is a Miss Universe. But the issue is not the issue. The thing at pageants is like any of these girls could have taken the crown. All of them are Miss Universes. It just really depends on what the organization is looking for that year. So it's just an organizational decision. Was I sad?
Yeah.
Yes. But I will say that I think USA has done an incredible job with her platform and with her career. And I think she's also super, super inspiring. And I know that, you know, a lot of people are happy. She's also Filipina, I believe. So it was nice because she was kind of representing her ethnicity. So to me, I feel like she did deserve the win, just like any of the other girls would have deserved it.
Yes. No, you're right. You're right. Honestly, same. I was a little bit biased. I feel like either Venezuela or Dominican could have won, because Dominican, honestly, Obviously, I wanted Venezuela to win, but Dominican had such a great answer. I was even blown away. I was
It's
like,
great.
that girl, she's got, yeah. Next topic is the Golden Globes return after being called racist last year. The host, George Carmichael, made several jokes about it, and the fact that his skin color was the reason why he was there. Do you watch the awards? Would you have agreed that maybe they added a little bit more diversity this year?
I did watch the awards. I think that I think it was nice, or it's nice this year that a lot more Latinas are nominated and Latina women, which I think is good. And I guess, yeah, they're doing the work. I was actually reading up on it, and it looks like they increased their diversity a bunch. I still think there's a lot of work to do. And it's nice to see, though, that they're hopefully taking the steps in the right direction.
Yes, amen. And the last one is Harry Styles added more tour dates, shocking, and is now doing a show in Los Angeles for his birthday for the first time ever. As a fellow birthday performer, would you recommend this experience, or would you rather have like a quieter birthday?
100% I would recommend the experience. When everybody asked me, like, what do you want to do for your birthday this year in Venezuela? I was like, all I want to do is sing. All I want to do is sing. Like, that's the biggest gift to perform, because as a performer, you literally, like, your soul leaves your body and you just feel on heaven. Like, it's just insane. Like, at least that's how it feels for me. And that feeling you can only get from being on stage, and having that on your birthday is the best gift. So I know that's probably going to be one of his best shows, and I definitely recommend it.
Yes! And I think we did it. Let me check this timer. Oh, wait a minute to spare. Look at us.
I was so stressed.
Same. Last time it took us like I think 6 minutes. So this is lit. Yo, we did it on the 5 minutes. Yeah.
Honestly, I had so much to say. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, I'm Venezuelan, so I talk way too much. And then I'm like, yeah, cálmate. Dial it down.
Same. For the 5 under 5. Yo, that was lit. Maybe I'll do like 6 under 5 next time. But no, yes, this was amazing topics. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about today, girl? Any tea you want to share with us?
I think the only thing I want to mention is, for those of you who are from Ottawa or who love Latin festivals or want to go to Latin festival, I'm going to be performing in Ottawa on February 11th at Sonido Festival alongside Blessed and Jay Cortez. They're announcing the lineup and a bunch of more incredible local artists. So it's my first big show in Ottawa, which is where I lived for so many years. So come see me. It's going to be insane. I was just telling Mariela before this call, I was working on the set list, and it's going to be like incredible. I have so many ideas that it's just going to be incredible. So come. It'll be February 11th. And if you need tickets, check it out online.
Exactly. We'll catch you there. And it's a cute little date if you guys are trying to get your Tinder dates to go somewhere before Valentine's Day because you want to boo for Valentine's Day. Bring them to the show. Don't be shy. You're going to have a great time. Dance to some music. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. But your Tinder date, invite your family, invite your grandma, invite literally your neighbor. You're trying to holler at your neighbor, invite them to the show. What you doing at home? Don't be shy.
Don't be
Nobody
shy.
wants to stay home now. COVID is over, I think.
Oh my God.
You don't gotta stay home.
We don't speak of it. And then
we don't know her.
And I wanted to say, Mariela, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I think this is so amazing. And I know that, the past 2 years have been tough. I feel like they've been tough for all of us. And I feel like we're just all getting out of this rut. And this feels like, I don't know, for those of you who don't know, I hadn't seen Mariela in so long. And then I saw her in September for my release party. And like having her back in my life is amazing. And so I'm really grateful for being on your podcast. I wish you all the best. I think it's going to be incredible. You're going to get viralized on everything you do really soon. So prepare for that. And guys, go follow her, go listen to her, go check her out. Follow her episodes so you get notifications on also all her social media. And yeah, thank you. And I love you.
Oh, thanks, girl. Honestly, like this was such a good episode. Y'all better listen to all my episodes. But this episode, though, was literally one of the greatest that I've recorded so far. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. Obviously, every single episode we ended on a positive note. So let's share some tea. There is this thing that I've been saying to myself every morning, and it's like this affirmation that kind of like gets me going. Even if I had a shitty day the past day, or my week has not been as great, I start every day saying this to myself. And it's, I'm so lucky. Everything always works out for me. that you just gotta put it out into the universe. Like whatever you're feeling, whatever you think is gonna happen during the day, just remind yourself, I'm so lucky and everything always looks out for me, always works out for me. And then there's this other thing that I really want to like share with you guys, because I literally have it on my phone as well. And it's, my name is being mentioned in rooms that I've never stepped foot in, about opportunities that I've only dreamed of.
I love that.
You know?
That's incredible.
Say it out loud, put it out into the universe, because great things are coming this year and we should all really embrace them. Change is coming this year, and positive change is coming this year, because God knows the past few years have been hectic. 2023 is our year. Put it out there. Say it every day. I love myself. This is my year. Today's gonna be fucking great. I'm grabbing life by the fucking throat. Like, fuck yeah, girl. Like, we out here, we're really doing the damn thing. We are boss ass bitches, and you better work, bitch, because that's what this whole episode was about. So thank you so very much again for being in the episode. It means so much to me. You have no idea. I'm shaking low key. I'm like trying to keep it together, but this has been great. And honestly, I'm so proud of you again. I will never stop saying, bitch, I'm so proud of you. Eventually, I'm getting your name tattooed on my ass, bitch. Like, you think it's a joke? It's not a joke.
I have to be there.
You have to be, you gotta sign it so then I can get a tattoo. Exactly. But no, honestly, like it's gonna be a great year, and I can just see it for us, girl, starting
For
this
everyone.
year with a bang. Like, you did the show with the thousands of people, and now you have a festival. Can't wait for the summer. Girl, you better be at Oceaga and all these other festivals. Like, I see you be doing Escapade, Amen, putting it out into the universe. These people need some sazon,
honestly,
and God knows.
I love these affirmations, and I do these every morning, and everybody that's listening should be doing affirmations in the morning, especially when you're having a shitty day. I know sometimes it's annoying to always like be like, oh, I'm taking care of my mental health, and like, oh, I need to do like affirmations, whatever. But if you're feeling down, like, truly do them and keep listening to this podcast. Mariela, I love that you keep it so positive. I feel like I needed this today too. And yeah, I love you, and thank you for having me.
Love you so much.
And I'll gladly come back soon.
Heck yes, as you should. No, yes, we definitely have to do like a girls talk episode, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, because girls talk is always good. And you know, when you don't talk to your friends, or maybe you had like a fight with your friends, you want some girl talk, so you better listen to some of our girl talk. But thank you so very much again for being on the show. I hope everybody has an amazing day. Please take care of yourselves, drink some water, make sure you eat something today, and I'll catch you all in the next episode. Love you all. Bye-bye.